Hello, welcome back in short order, ladies and gentlemen, to Episode 4, Part 3 of Kaz's Fighter Jet Roundtable Tournament. Today we have both the semifinals and the finals in one fantastic episode for all of you. This comes at a request from most of the competitors. They're eager to see who wins the tournament, and, well, I really can't blame them. So, without any kind of further ado, let's go ahead, zoom on into the round table and the watchtower, and get this party started, and see who will be crowned the winner of Episode 4. So obviously we start today off with a round of 4. The first bout of the semi-final is going to be between the AFX 106 Mirage sent in by Jim and Saw and the JAS 405 Wyvern sent in by BV Flyer 141. Both of these aircraft prove themselves to be quite deadly and very efficient on the run-up into the semi-finals, very soundly defeating their opponents. Let's see how they fare against each other. Let's start the competition and get them into the air. Both of these planes are quite capable, as I mentioned. Should be interesting to see which one pulls it out. The Wyvern does appear to be slightly lighter, at the very least seems to have a higher thrust to weight at takeoff. Though, that said, we can see the Mirages are just as easily capable of moving. And the competition has started. We have AIM-120D missiles being launched, as well as, it's hard to see, it looks like Aero missiles. It is Aero missiles. The AIM-120s are flying in. We managed to miss more 120. Nope, that's an AIM-9 streaking into the ground and missing just completely missing. Another Aero missile is being launched from the Mirage here as it screams in, trying to close on the Wyverns. Since the first missiles are done, let's go ahead and get into the position here. Aero almost hitting that Wyvern, actually. That's impressive. Arrows are, so far, not really known for their maneuverability. Mirage dumping chaff and flares to, no doubt, throw off a missile. Closes in with a close-range Sidewinder. Tries to get in on that Wyvern's tail. Not so much luck. Let's see what the, we have another missile being fired from, that Wyvern. Which one is it? I think it's this one. Yep, there's that missile that just fired off to the right. Looks like it's fired and forgotten. This Wyvern looking like it's actually a bit of a pincer maneuver from the other two Mirages. Not a good place to be. Never want to be the monkey in the middle. We have lag, and we have a Wyvern that's gotten knocked out by a missile impact. That's the only thing I can think of that would eliminate it that quickly. And just as quickly, it's now down to a 1v1. Mirage versus the Wyvern. Another close-range missile just... Holy shit. Woo! Damn. This is some spicy stuff, guys. We've got planes and bits flying everywhere. Now we've turned ourselves into the joust. Will the widely set guns of the Wyvern be able to do very much against the close-in guns of the Mirage? Wait a minute, that Mirage... It did look like it got a hit earlier. Yes, it looks like its engines got taken out very, very briefly. Yeah, that's not good. Well, after a very vicious back and forth, I believe we have a winner for round 1. Let's go ahead and head on into round 2. So here we are for round 2 between these fighters. Both of them are very, very nasty designs. One of the reasons I'm looking forward to them fighting each other here, they're more or less evenly matched in the amount of ability they have when it comes into the dogfight. At least as far as capability, these planes are very similarly built, similarly weighted, and have similar capabilities, which means it should be a good match between the two. So far, however, the Wyvern has proved itself just a little bit deadlier, at least when it comes into those very quick, close gunshots. Still surprising that with those widely spaced guns, they're as effective as they are. I would not have foreseen that being a thing. Goes to show that you can learn something new every day. Let's go ahead and spin the camera around as we watch those AIM 120s zip in toward the Mirages. We have arrows launching, but in bad positions, slamming into the ground. They're not going to be doing very much there. Another arrow being launched. Both arrows, that means all their arrows have been launched at this point. That one almost manages to slam into the ground, but does not. They are now tracking on the targets as the Mirages fly in to close the gap. Let's go ahead and zoom in, see how they do. Again, the arrows not really hitting anything, but they're not really meant to. Looks like we had a missile tracking toward that other Wyvern, and I just heard an explosion, and it looks like that Wyvern did in fact get taken out by a Sidewinder. There goes another one coming in. Manages to switch away, but there's no telling that. Oh yeah, that Wyvern has been. Both Wyverns effectively KO'd, knocked out of the race. This one has no engines. It is possible it could still score a kill. I'm willing to let it run for just a little while longer, just to see if it gets lucky. However, at that low of an altitude, I think it's going to be focused more on trying to pull up and or landing, which to me means I don't think it's going to be taking much in the way of hostile action. The other Wyvern, just basically a cockpit left over, has in fact landed. This one dropping flares, trying to distract that AIM 9. Oh! And that Wyvern's down. Oh man, are we going to be able to add the title of Dragon Slayer to the Mirage? Who knows? That's a 1v1 victory for each. 1-1. Let's see how they do in round 3. And we're back for round 3. Both of these aircraft have won one round against one another. Whoever wins this will be continuing on to the final fight of episode 4. I'm telling you guys, man, I am excited. I'm trying to sound very professional, but let me tell you, this has got my adrenaline going between these two fighters. Rarely have I seen planes going this hard at one another. This is particularly why I selected these two aircraft to fight each other for the semis. They are arguably the most evenly matched aircraft, and if there's one thing I do enjoy, it is a neck-and-neck fight for mastery. Nobody likes a stomp. Those are kind of boring. I mean, as interesting as it is to see somebody wipe the floor with somebody else, I much rather like to see just every craft being pushed to the absolute limit. Once more, the Wyverns getting their AIM 120Ds off first, with the Mirages now diving toward the ground and dumping chaff and flares. Woohoo! All right, we've got arrows being launched again, landing into the ground, although just enough to make those Wyverns think twice. They're still dropping chaff and flares as the Mirages fire their next set of arrows. Let's move in. They're now launching AIM 9s at the Mirages. Oh, geez. You know, there's so much going on here. I'm actually going to pop out into generic mode. I don't want to miss anything that's going on. This is exciting. We have another missile tracking in on that Wyvern. It's going wide, missing completely. Jeez, look at this. Mirage on the tail of that Wyvern, keeping a nice... Oh, trying to light it up with guns. The other Wyvern now is dead ahead. A missile streaks in. Wingman taking a kill on that Wyvern with a Sidewinder. Very nice team play by these. Jesus, and they have a joust. Oh man. Okay, this is some exciting shit, you guys. This is good. Gosh. You know, and congratulations to BB Flyer for making such... Oh! Sidewinder kill! That Wyvern is not going down without a fight. Its partner may be down, but it's still got teeth and is ready to fight. It is now pulling in on the tail of the Mirage. Guns are firing. We have lag. Oh! Oh man, that's not good. Oh, he's going every which way. Oh my god, he's still got an engine. Oh, he's still got an engine, and at this point, he can still potentially get behind his target. Oh, this is so close. It could be anybody's fight at this point. Oh, geez, the Mirage fighting tooth and nail to try and get a shot with those guns. Mauser's just... Oh, man, I'm gonna need a nap after this, and this is just round one. Oh! Oh, gosh, it's so close. Oh, jeez. Mirage, not quite dead. Still has a missile. It looks good. Oh! Missile exploding. Did he get it? He did! Oh my god, what an amazing fight between these two. Oh, guys, I just don't have any words. Alright, there are 2 words. I hope they won't get me censored. That was fucking incredible. That was... Oh, man. That was... Okay, that... Whew. Alright, well... Well, guys, even if one of these planes doesn't go home as the winner of Episode 4, I think it's safe to say they can both certainly put up a damn good fight. Either way, the Mirage will be heading in to the final fight. Let's go see what it's going to be fighting. So, we're back at the Watchtower, and this time we have perhaps one of the most highly anticipated fights of this round. We have the ADF 200A1 sent in by the Eye of Odin, and this time this aircraft is going to be fighting against the AC Shiden FJRT and FJRX. Sent in by Maximus Light. Both of these aircraft have proven to be fairly deadly. The ADF 200As seem to find the ground fairly deadly. However, they have been upgraded to use a bit of a radar takeoff system to help them get their nose off the ground, so hopefully we don't have a lot of repeated ground-based disassembly like we did the last time. Either way, the engines are hot and ready. Let's go ahead and get these babies into the air. And we have a picture-perfect takeoff for the ADF 200s. That alone is far better than the last time. I cannot wait to see how these aircraft fight against one another. They're both very small, they're both very light, they're both very powerful. And the ADF 200s are climbing straight into the sky. Probably pushing themselves to the very limit of their engines. The competition starts. We have no missiles away, however, we do have our little aim assist probe. And just as I say that, we have two AIM-120s flying in from the 200As, while the Shidens are popping chaff and flares. I would be very surprised if a Shiden got taken out by an AIM-120. Speaking of which, we have another AIM-120 coming in, and pulse lasers trying to light up one of the ADFs already. Let's go ahead and get behind that. Yes, I'm biased toward pulse lasers. Shut up, they're awesome. ADF 200 now in the sights of the FJRX. Pulse lasers flying through the sky. By the way, this match is right after a fresh restart of the game, so we should have absolutely no strange KSP fuckery. AIM-9 streaking off to some destination unknown. And we have lag. That means something died. The Shiden goes down. It's now effectively a 2v2. Close-range Sidewinder trying to maneuver hard to get on the tail of that ADF 200. Failing. Still, this Shiden is hot on the tail. Now we have a 2v1. One of the other ADFs got shot down by something. Didn't get to see what. Probably a missile. Or perhaps the guns from our little helper probe. Who, looks like he's putting in some work there. I'm gonna call him Stevie. Good Good job, Stevie. And, if anything, this shows that the Sheedens are far from invincible. One did get taken out. And, well, only the 00X survived, as well as Stevie the drone. Well, let's see how Stevie does in round 2. And we're back for round 2. Full disclosure, this is after a crash. Both literally and, well, literally. The ADF 200, despite its best efforts, did manage to skid mark into the runway again. And in the process of getting ready to restart it, well, my game crashed. So this is after another fresh restart. And if they plow themselves into the ground again, I am not restarting it. So here we go. Let's start the competition and let's cross our fingers for the ADF. Hope and pray, hope and pray. One of them totally ate it. Well, good luck in your 1v3, buddy. I did give you the benefit of the doubt, but I did tell you, if you couldn't get it into the air, I was only going to give you one restart, and this is after one restart. This is after a full restart on the game. At this point, if the ADF wins, it will be a miracle, and one for the ages, I will tell you. And, you know, to be honest, I kind of hope it wins. I think that would be awesome. I always love rooting for underdog victories and stuff like that. However, ultimately, to some degree, this does come down to a game of numbers. And, it's not looking particularly pretty. That said, though, due to the crash, it looks like the competition seems to have gotten bugged a bit. So, we're going to cancel the competition and start the competition. And right away, they go into it. So, let's see how the ADF goes. And you know what? I'm even going to give it the benefit. I'm going to give it the benefit of the observer effect, which hopefully will give it some bonus. If nothing else, this will take it to a round 3. Aim assist drone. Uh-oh, that missile was tracking quite nicely, actually. Uh-oh, here comes the pulse laser Sheeden! Holy mackerel. Oh, I do not envy. I do not envy this poor little ADF 200 right now. Luckily, it is very small, so getting a direct hit on it will prove to be somewhat difficult. However, 3v1 are pretty nasty odds for any aircraft. And there we go. With a very unfortunate end to the second half of the round of 4. Stevie didn't even get to help that much. Poor Stevie. Look how eager he is. He's just doing little jitters. He's got the jitters. Poor little probe. Alright, well, you know what this means. It is the Mirage versus the Sheeden for the finals. And at last, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, the finals for Episode 4. Both of these aircraft have trounced their way through several opponents to get here. Well, there's really not much more for me to say, other than whoever wins this will be the winner of Episode 4. Let's go ahead and get these suckers into the air. We have the Dragon Slayer, the AFX 106 Mirage, and the AC Sheeden F, with various designations, along with Stevie, the helpful probe. Both aircraft getting into position and simply waiting. And the competition is now starting. The Shidens are moving into close. However, the Mirages do also get missiles off. There are AIM-9Xs zooming in, heading for the Mirages. Oh, no. Do we... Oh. Oh, my. We just had 2 long-range missile kills from the Shidens. Wow. I didn't even get a chance to see what was going on. Alright, that was a little anticlimactic. Let's go ahead and get into round 2. And after a very brief round 1 between these fighters, we are here ready for round 2. Let's get them into the air. I really hope the Mirages can manage to avoid those first missiles. I really do. Nobody likes to get sniped on the first turn with missiles at long range. But it goes to show, even with those long-range radar-guided missiles, it is 100% possible to still get kills. All it takes is one well-timed fire. And here we go, competition starting. This first volley could very well decide who is going to be the victor of Episode 4. And again, we see the same thing, missiles streaking in. We see no countermeasures being fired from the... We have a hit on a Mirage. That one's still flying. How's the other? Well, they're both still flying. I don't know what happened, but I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Either way, first missiles have been launched. We are now free, full game. Arrow missile being launched, tracking that Shiden. Though it's probably not going to hit. Nope, not at that range. This Mirage needs to get in and fire a Sidewinder, and quickly. Otherwise, it's going to miss its opportunity. Looks like its opportunity has already been missed, perhaps. We do have the 00X lining up pulse laser shots on the Mirage. However, whoa, man, we do have a Mirage managing to get some shots on the back of that Shiden. And Stevie hanging in there, putting in some work. Probe managing to do some nasty work. Soaking up missiles, which it, unfortunately, these Mirages just cannot afford right now. That aim assist probe just going absolutely ham. Looks like the Mirages are out for Stevie's blood. After what happened first time, I don't blame him. He had a bit of a pick from that. We have something exploding. What's going on? I don't know what that was. Was that a Mirage? And Mirage did take some damage. That Shiden has been heavily wounded by something. It's not going to be doing anything. That's the pulse laser fighter. That's the main gunfighter. It's now effectively 2v2. Mirages are crippled, but still... And the probe is down. This is now officially a 2v1. Can the Mirages manage to knock out the Shidens? This Mirage managing to get on the tail, lighting up that Shiden. It cannot afford to overshoot. It's aiming quite true. They're both hitting their altitude limit. The Mirage cannot turn harder than the Shiden can. However, perhaps it doesn't have to. Uh-oh, that Shiden is managing to get on. It does only have a single 30mm on that. Half of its armament did go to the drone. More parts being stripped off of this Mirage. Where is its wingman right now? It needs to get on. Instead, it's targeting the dead, well, the crippled corpse. It's now focusing on the other fighter. They need to use their teamwork to take out this foe. That's not good at all. That lag tells me that the other Mirage is getting lit up, and it is. The Mirage is down. They're now heading in for what appears to be a joust. And with the Mirage pulling off, it's getting... I happen to know that Shidens are very vicious turn fighters. The only way it's going to be able to shake it at this point is if it gets down to the ground or the Shiden manages to overshoot. Turning hard. This might be the Mirage's one and only chance to take down the Shiden. Still trying to line up. It's in line. Needs to slow down. Oh! We have... Yes! We have good hits! That Shiden has taken some serious damage. It looks like it's been completely gutted. It's still got its gun, but it has no control authority whatsoever, simply spinning toward the ground like a lawn dart. And you know what? I'm going to give the Mirage the benefit of the doubt here. Looks like it's good that I did, because with that, there's no way that Shiden is going to recover. That means we have a 1-to-1 victory for each side. That means the finals are going to round 3, ladies and gentlemen. So here we are for round 3 between these two aircraft. You may notice they have switched positions. It's because we had a bit of an issue and a crash, and I continued running into it, so I figured I would restart the game from scratch and redeploy them onto the field. Also, for whatever reason, the landing gear on the Mirage were making them a bit bouncy, which is something they have not showcased before. So that's a little strange. Either way, we're starting fresh. Let's go ahead and get them into the air for the final round of Episode 4. And honestly, fights like this, at least in the first half of these episodes, or first half of this episode, is the reason why I made FJRT in the first place. To see awesome fights like that. Things that make you grip the edge of your seat and just... you don't know who's gonna win. I mean, stomps, I guess, are interesting, but honestly, I like to see two fairly evenly matched aircraft go against each other. Much more entertaining. Either way, the competition is now starting. We have those arrow missiles firing from the Mirages. The Shidens now diving low. The Mirages are now closing in on the Shidens. AIM-9X being fired somewhere. Not sure what that was about. Either way, we have missiles being fired. Let's go ahead and get into the Mirages. See what they're doing as they close in. Here's one of those arrow missiles. Close. Not too much going on, and just as I'm getting ready to zoom out, we have... one of the Shidens got taken out by a missile! Oh! Oh my god! Ladies and gentle... Ladies and gentlemen! I don't believe it! I do not believe it! The AFX 106 Mirage sent in by Jim and Saw has done it! They are the winner of Episode 4! Oh my god! Ladies and gentlemen, I have no words. I really have no words for this. other than to quote Daddy Tape and say, this has been the greatest upset in the history of sport. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Fighter Jet Roundtable Tournament, Episode 4, and I have been your host, Kaz. Your victor for Episode 4 is the AFX 106 Mirage, the Dragon Slayer, and now the King Slayer. I hope you'll tune in for Episode 5 when we showcase even more aircraft. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, keep building. And remember Jim and Saw, never give up, never surrender.